And we're live. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Four Quarters. All sports, every day, all day. And she's a babe. I really got to stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
My money's on that.
And to no surprise, my shout out, Caitlin Clark.
And we're live. Oh wait, maybe we're live. Hold on.
Maybe we're not live. I'm just gonna
Kidding. Yep, we are.
Oh, just kidding. Welcome into the Draft Central. This is weird.
It is
but
weird.
I like it.
Oh wait,
I like it. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of looks like we're at Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Or normally you have your helmet in the middle of the team that you are either the GM, scout, or whatever for.
We got our notes.
We got our notes here. We got our draft board here. This is about as close to a draft war room as you can get. Welcome in. It is the eve of the NFL draft. Thanks for joining us on our Four Quarters Facebook page, 802 Scoops, and YouTube.
YouTube.
And CB's smiling over there, and I want to just say thank you again for putting up with the chaos that ended our show last Wednesday when we were trying
Chaos
to
ensued.
do a surprise birthday party for CB. It was her birthday on that day, and I don't know if everyone could hear me, but working with Charlotte, I shouldn't call you Charlotte, working with CB, she has celebrated everybody's birthday. But we could never celebrate hers because we never knew when it was.
Sneaky.
Let me know.
Let you know. Well, that was because
Wasn't it? Didn't you tell people after you left?
Yeah. So listen, great stage. Also, my camera's missing, so I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. But anyways, we did the corporate cup walk.
Yes.
And what
I asked you.
She tricked me because she only needed my age. but because it was the first time I ever did it, she's like, "Oh, hey, I need your birthday for the corporate cup," and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." Karen, I know I have to figure out the camera situation, but so you lied to me. So you tricked me into giving.
I'm not a liar, but I do what I have to do for my friends.
You tricked me
for the better.
And then so Lori was the only one who knew for the longest time, and then for my going away cards, my last day, I was like. Especially Kate, because Kate was on a vengeance, man. Kate was like determined to figure out what my birthday was. She was trying to ask Michelle and everything.
Yeah.
So I let them know the day I left.
I just thought it was perfect that your birthday fell on the podcast.
Right.
I know, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll ask them if they want to do it on a Friday.
That's what I thought you were going to do. I'm like, what if she bails? As we're talking about it at work, I'm like, what if she bails on
Right.
me?
Yeah.
What the hell happens?
Yeah.
This is perfectly planned. And a dog was here.
I know. I mean, right? I texted Susie and I was like, oh, they threw a surprise party for me. She's like, how'd it go? I was like, well, they brought a puppy and they're like, yeah, canine bribery will go a long way. And I was like, exactly.
And sugar treats.
Yeah. Sugar,
sugar treats a way to your heart, man.
Puppies and sugar.
Yep, I get it.
Are the way to my heart.
I would have taken the dog home. I would have said, "Is this my birthday gift?"
How good was Nora?
Nora, she
so
was
good.
A rock star.
Oh my
God,
guys.
with so much going on. So as we start the show, we'll obviously dedicate the second half of the show to the NFL draft. We'll do our top 12. We'll talk about needs for the top 12 teams, and we'll each do a little pick. And tomorrow night we'll see how close we come. Wheels, you want to do a shout out first? I know the photo that you sent.
Sure. Yes.
So can't wait to hear the rest.
We'll do the photo first. So CB's going to put up a photo of Duke softball player Anna Gold.
What a fierce photo!
Isn't it amazing?
Love a good one like that.
So
look at that face, man.
Right.
My shout out is to her. When I used to live in New York, and the very first team I ever coached were the Ballston Spa Scotties. Great program. They start when they're like this little.
Which you gotta love.
Which you gotta love,
Feeder
and
programs.
that's what makes great programs. And Anna was at that stage of her life, this little thing who wanted to be a catcher. And so at the time I was doing catching lessons, so I would do weekly catching lessons with her. And I just remember her as this little thing with so much freaking talent. And I was like, this
so
kid
much
is gonna,
passion.
and so much passion. And I'm like, this kid is gonna go places.
Yep.
Like, and then when I left New York and moved back to Vermont, she was in 8th grade and she made the varsity team as an 8th grader at Ballston Spa High School.
No surprise.
No surprise at all. None whatsoever. She switched her position though. She didn't want to be a catcher anymore. She's an infielder. Currently, she is a senior third baseman for the Duke Blue Devils.
Love that.
And
Playing the hot corner.
She's playing the hot corner. And she was given the golden ticket. So Athletes Unlimited Softball League, they give out golden tickets to seniors that makes you eligible to be drafted by teams in that league.
Oh, cool.
So her senior weekend at Duke, she was awarded the golden ticket, which means she is now eligible to be drafted by a team in that league,
That
which is
so
really cool, which I didn't know about.
I was
Like,
learning this
Jen
right
Esquivel
now.
probably does, but like I did not.
Jen?
I did not know about this.
GPS check?
Feeler,
Jen?
feeler.
So, just a little bit of like her resume. She's a 2-time All ACC selection. She made the All ACC freshman team. She was named All Region third team in 2023. As a freshman, she started 51 games. She hit 10 home runs, which is a Duke record for a freshman.
Wow.
Because the Duke softball program is new. It's relatively
Right.
new.
Right.
So,
and successful.
and very successful. In 2024, she led Duke to the Women's College World Series, which was awesome. She's also Duke's all-time leading home run hitter. I mean, she's just to know her as a little kid and watch her grow. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
she's awesome. She is awesome to watch.
Exactly.
Her family is amazing. So shout out to her just for, like, it just shows you what
Putting in
hard
the
work
work.
and putting in the work can
you
do
gotta
for you.
put the work in.
I have no doubt she'll be drafted by a team there. So congratulations to her. And my other shout out is I know I gave Addie a shout down last week because of her,
Just because of OU.
because she likes Oklahoma, which is whatever. Okay, we can fix
did
that.
you notice Jen showed up last
I
Wednesday
did,
with
and
that
the OU
really
hat.
nice OU hat?
Yeah, she
on?
likes to do that
It was
to
a
me.
nice hat, though.
She likes to do that to
I
me.
gotta say, it was a nice hat.
So my niece Addison was mentioned by the Burlington Free Press as one of the top returning underclassmen for softball in the state of Vermont.
I love that. As just a
Sophomore. 3 sophomores were mentioned. She was one of them. Everybody else was a junior or senior. So
Wow.
shout out to her.
Wow.
It's so funny because over the weekend, celebrating Easter with my family, my mom and I were actually talking about that. Like, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day Addie's in the like top returning players for, softball. And then Monday it was announced, and I'm like,
You're like, who's
Yo.
listening?
well, that's crazy. Good
job, Addie.
And you can actually, all the players that were nominated, you can actually vote for them as the top returning players. So if you go to my Facebook page, or if you go to the Burlington Free Press, vote for Addie. You can
that
vote
down.
multiple times until next Wednesday.
can.
I think I voted every 20 minutes today, so it's fine. So
Love
vote
that.
for her. Went so far. Outer Valley is 2-1. They won last night, 15-2.
Nice.
In a snoozer. But the weather was nice.
I was gonna say, finally, yeah.
They have a big game tomorrow against Division I Rutland, and I will be at that. So yeah, congratulations to my niece. Well deserved. I mean, one of 3
Well-deserved.
sophomores is just
That says it
like,
all right
yeah. I'm a proud auntie for
you
sure.
should be.
For sure. So
And we are so proud of Addie.
Yeah.
That's
Such
so
a good
friggin'
person.
cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's so friggin'
Yeah.
cool.
So
So here's my question. When you're younger and you said, the coaching clinic and stuff, didn't everybody want to be a catcher? I did.
they all wanted to be pitchers.
Oh,
when
see,
I was growing up, everyone wanted
I
to
thought
be a
the
pitcher.
equipment was cool.
Me too. Which is
And
why
then
I was a catcher.
Then I slid to shortstop. I was like,
Yeah.
I think, to me, the hardest position, I know we talk about shortstop and pitching, is catching.
Oh, 100%.
Yo, yeah, absolutely.
Is
100%. And I know I'm biased because I've been a catcher my whole life, but it's freaking hard.
It's hard.
It's hard on your body. It's hard mentally. Like it is. I mean, you're the quarterback out there. You see
now-
everything.
Yes. And now you see the blocks that catchers
Yeah.
wear so they can
Yep.
save their knees.
Yep.
Well, where was that in the 80s?
Yeah.
In the 70s?
Yeah, they don't have it. I mean,
I
when
might have stuck with it.
when Addie was little, she wanted to be a catcher because I was. And then she realized how hard it was to put on the equipment, and that was done for her. She's like, this takes too long, I'm out. Like, I get
Oh
it.
my God, I love that.
So she now is a first baseman, which at 5'9",
I was gonna say.
I mean, that's where you should.
And that's an important position
yeah,
too.
very.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
very,
The
very.
way they play it, the way they scoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
if we could all be 5'9".
Right. I don't know where she got it from, but
Just for a day, at least.
right,
I
one
would,
day.
I would take 5'5".
Same, CB.
I would take 5'5". Just to,
I'm at the age now where I'm going to
me
start
up.
shrinking. So
not
You and
looking
me
good
both.
for us.
no.
It's not looking
No.
good for us. We don't have a lot
That's
to work
funny.
with.
That is funny.
I mean,
That's
you at
hilarious.
least like if you start shrinking, you have some
Yeah, I can give an inch.
like an
but
inch or two. CB and I we got nothing.
Nope.
I'm lucky I'm at the job I'm at because sometimes they're saying, hey, Lori, is your back hurt today?
Oh,
Walking
yeah.
funny again?
Yeah.
It's
Or-
really nice to work with PT.
Or I see somebody a little older than me, and I'm like, oh, well, I should sit up a little bit more here. Good
Yeah.
shout outs,
Yes.
Wheels. CB, dog?
Dog.
Dog of the week.
Dog of the week, guys. For our dog of the week, it is Mr. Sam.
Mr.
okay.
Sam, I am.
He's 2 years old, and they actually did on the Golden Hugs website. They actually did a really cute poem. So go read that poem. But if you know anything about retrievers at 2 years old, he's still very much a puppy. But there's no sophomore slump here. He is crate trained. He does well with other dogs. He loves, running outside. Does need a fenced-in yard, but is just as likely to cuddle up with you on the couch. So he's 2 years old. Team Golden Hugs. He's here in Vermont. Check him out. He's adorable.
How old
guys.
again?
Two.
So 2 months or 2 years?
2 years.
That's a good age again. Every week I say it.
Listen.
That's not a puppy. I go, that's a good age.
If you get someone like Sam,
Yeah.
I have just the sidekick to help you
To entertain.
and release that energy.
Oh my gosh! I went to Petco this past weekend to pick up
God.
dog food, and then the worker was like at like kind of the front by the door, holding a baby guinea pig.
Oh,
And
buddy.
it's been over a year since I've had a guinea pig.
Yes.
It's about that time.
And
CB.
I had guinea pigs for
Wilbur.
well over 10 years. I had guinea pigs, and I was like, oh, I just wanted to go over there and be
Did
like,
I get the
"She
name
is-"
right?
Wilbur,
Wilbur,
yeah.
yep.
Wilbur.
I was like, I just wanted to go over there and be like, she is mine now.
Would you ever get another?
I was so close, guys. I was so close.
God, we
Yeah.
almost had you on the dog too not too long
know.
ago.
I know.
I'm not giving up on dogs for you two.
Yeah.
Like
Me either. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, Freya needs someone to play with.
she does.
She truly does.
I mean, Bo wanted to play with Avery the other day when we walked by.
I heard.
Yeah.
I said, why was Freya barking? Karen's like, well, that was Bo.
Yeah.
Bo was barking?
Yeah.
I mean, every now and again.
Yeah. I think he wanted to play, but Avery's a little too much for.
Yeah.
I mean, Avery's too much for a lot of people.
Bo can't even play with Freya. When Freya does a little juking, which isn't very often,
Yeah.
she knows.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not
Yeah.
happening. I'm not sure if do you have oh, you had a soccer shout out though for 2031?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is coming from, we have a soccer
We have
shout
a soccer shout out.
We have a soccer shout
Yes.
out. We have a
Yes.
soccer shout out. It was announced, yesterday or a couple days ago?
Yes.
That the U.S. and most likely, because they said, and the CONCACAF nation, so Mexico and Canada, will be hosting the 2031 Women's World Cup.
Love it.
that.
So that's 6 years away. It'll be the team will look completely different.
Oh,
by
yeah.
then. It should be interesting to see where they end up going. But
I didn't realize, and I learned everything through you, in the soccer world, that the U.S. doesn't typically.
No. It's
Host.
it's all over the world. They've had it in China. They've had it in Canada. They had it in Australia and New Zealand. They have it all over the world. And so
That I
it's
knew,
kind of like the Olympics, you have to make a bid for it.
Gotcha, which
And then-
makes sense.
And then they vote for it. So the U.S. actually bidded for the 2027 Women's World Cup, but it's being hosted in Brazil.
Which we're going to take a road trip.
Yes, it's the first time the Women's World Cup has been hosted in South America, so it'll be...
Which is crazy to me. I feel
it's
like
Brazil.
Like exactly.
Brazil.
It's Brazil.
With Brazil's
So it's crazy to me.
football
That is.
history.
Like, how has Marta never hosted a World Cup?
True.
No.
So that's mind-boggling to me.
Exactly.
Was there an injury to Rodman? Trinity
Yes, her
Rodman?
back.
What
Yes,
happened?
Her back.
Her
Yep.
back.
Yep. No, like they're being very
Vague.
They're being very hush about
Yes.
details.
Well, that makes me nervous.
I know.
I know. Because and then Sophia Smith or whatever her new last name is, she's
preggo.
pregnant. So we're losing.
How dare these athletes?
How dare they?
We're losing our whole front line here, guys.
Can't they plan better? Like
They need to plan those months better.
I guess she's got Sophia
A
Smith.
year?
Yeah, Sophia Smith. She's got a couple years until the next World Cup. Yep, a couple years.
Yeah.
So she could make a comeback, but
Okay.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Damn.
I don't know if my sister is listening, but because these two didn't watch the Masters and I just couldn't talk to anybody about it last week, my sister wasn't watching live, or she said she would have called in, which
Oh.
I believe.
Yep,
That would have been fun.
that would have been so
So
fun.
she watched our show on Friday, and she was mad at you guys for not watching the Masters. First of all, I have to put that out there.
Yep, valid.
Valid.
And she just wanted to talk about how amazing of a Masters it was, and the grit, the grind, the determination that he went through to win his first Masters. So I told her I would mention it again. The great thing about that was after our show last Wednesday, we were having birthday cake,
Gail's here.
and Gail is in the house. And Casey had her Masters polo shirt on
Yep.
and gave me the rundown on all the golfers. And I said, why didn't I have you on the show?
Yeah.
I
You'll know for
easily.
next time.
Yeah,
Next time.
Casey is a huge fan of golf. She loves.
Sis, is that you? Hello? Oh, she hung up on me. I thought we had a call in and I thought it was my sister.
Oh.
But she hung up on me. So she texts me after watching the show, and my phone was blowing up. I'm sitting at my desk going, okay, we're going to try again.
Just tell her to mute us on her laptop or wherever she's watching.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear.
me now?
I can hear you. You need to mute us on the background so we can just hear you.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Perfect.
That's perfect, sis.
Okay.
All right.
I'm calling in on Lori's phone. I need you guys to watch at least Sunday's Masters. Rewatch that.
I'm telling you, sis, I watched the encore that night until 1 a.m. And I was just telling them, and I'm sure you heard me say that you were very disappointed that they didn't watch the Masters.
I watched highlights since then.
Oh, she's watched. CB has
Does that
watched
count?
highlights.
Does that count? I've watched the
I'll give you
highlights.
that. Wheels, you guys got at least watch the last 9 holes.
Okay. I will.
Feel the
Last nine.
pain,
Spark notes it. Spark notes it.
pressure.
Yeah.
Just watch the
Oh,
highlights.
Unbelievable.
The grit, the determination. I'm sorry, but this is why I'm not a golfer. Because I would get so frustrated after.
yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, sis, he double bogeyed the first hole.
Yes. We're like, he's going to blow it. He blows it on Sundays every single time. He's got this monkey on his back.
He does.
can't shake.
He does. And
But
the,
he shook it.
and the fact that DeChambeau was his partner after he lost to him at the U.S. Open last year, correct? I think he
Yes.
did.
Yes, he did.
So, I mean,
Yes.
there's your mind games right there.
Yep.
You know, it can play mind games with you.
And in addition, I just have to say, basically the whole world wanted Rory to win. It's pretty rare that you get an athlete that everyone, like the pressure of everybody loves Rory. Everybody wanted him to win. He could not shake this. 17 years trying
It
to
is
get
17
this match.
years.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize it's been that
Unbelievable.
long.
I was on the edge of my seat, and I don't play golf. I'm not
Right.
a golfer at all, but my
Neither
wife
am I.
does, so
Neither
know
am I.
golf.
I can't even play miniature golf without wanting to throw the.
I don't play golf either, but
the putter.
just like you, I get into it. And you and I have always gotten into Rory McIlroy. He's been our guy. He's our guy.
He's our guy. We love Rory. Everybody loves Rory.
Everybody
He's our
does.
guy. So likable. So, hey, you guys watch the last 9 holes
Okay.
of Sunday and then report back to Lori what you think.
Okay.
All right, sis.
All right.
Thank
Never
you.
report to her.
All right.
I'm watching the show. Great job, guys.
All right.
Thank
Love
you.
sis.
Thank you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
guys.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Thanks, Gail.
Shout out to Gail.
That was a surprise when she said call
Shout
in.
out.
I'm like, is she going to call in?
Right.
Or is she just going to let CB know her feelings? So, sis, thanks for calling in. And the other thing about Rory, 4 double bogeys and
That's
you win
wild.
the
Yeah,
Masters. That
that's
doesn't
crazy.
happen.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you start off your day and you have a 2-shot lead and you double bogey the first hole,
Yeah.
me,
Oh, I'd be
personally,
done.
I fall
Yep.
down. I'm done. I'm all done.
Yeah. That happens to me when I bowl. Like when I bowl.
Yep.
And like the first some days, man, depending on like, you know, the lanes and how they're oiled, and just some days you have the feel and some days you don't.
Yep.
You don't.
And
Yep.
then if you just start out that way, you're like, well, I might as well just stop now.
Right.
I love it.
I think it's like that
absolutely love
for so many things. Softball's
Yeah.
the same way.
Yeah.
Like if I go 0 for 2 my first 2 at bats, I'm like, screw it, I'm done. Like I'm done. Mentally, you're like,
Yep.
The mental
just done.
side of sports is
it's crazy.
75%
Yeah, oh yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Yep. No matter the sport,
Oh, yeah.
it is. You
And
know?
then when you go 0 for 2,
Yep.
you look at the bat and
Yep.
then you
Yep.
try a different bat.
Yep.
always,
Or when you-
always.
But it's wild, like, because especially with like softball and baseball, failing 70% of the time, you're doing
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
Very true. Very
Right.
true.
Right.
So
And then when you make an error in the field, especially when,
Yeah, that's
as
where
a
it
third
gets ya.
baseman, ball goes by me.
yeah.
Do you ever notice we all just look at our glove?
Look at the glove.
It's never, is there a hole in my glove?
Always.
Oh, there's not a hole in the glove. I'll just tighten up the Velcro a little bit more.
And then we slam it. We're like,
Oh, punch. Yeah, because it
Yeah.
wasn't really me, was it? I love, now as a spectator of the sport, or
you must see it
Oh,
all the
God.
time.
Base coaching third, I watch everyone and I'm like, yeah, you should look at that glove. There's nothing else we can do but
No.
look at the glove.
Nope.
We're gonna spotlight on local athletes right now. This basically is done in central Vermont through Jamie Bingham and the Times Argus, where we're in the spring sports, he'll look back at the winter sports. And 2 weeks ago, we covered Carter Brzezzi winning the Player of the Year for boys basketball. So now we're way behind because I was so fixated on CB's surprise party
Right.
last Wednesday that we have 3 more sports to look at. So we're going to start with the rink. We're going to get on the ice first. And we're going to spotlight girls hockey first. And some things I have to say about this hockey player. Not many hockey players possess the all-around skill set to excel at virtually every position. Didn't mention goalie, though, but every position on the ice, offense and defense. Luckily for the Spalding Crimson Tide, senior Lainey Thayer was happy to grit her teeth and bear it while leading her team. The 2-year captain kept plugging away regardless of her specific duty, helping the Crimson Tide stay as relevant as ever in the title conversation. Thayer finished playing offense and defense with 12 goals and 10 assists this past season,
Wow.
giving her 23 goals and 25
Wow.
assists over the course of a 4-year varsity career. This ranks her among the top 30 in Spalding history for all-time points.
Wow.
So this puts her over the top as the Times Argus Player of the Year.
Nice.
Thayer also helped her team in Division I. Spalding, some of their sports is in D2 and some in D1. Their hockey program in Division I. Thayer helped her team reach the Division I semis this season, leading them on to another memorable winter for Spalding hockey. As we flip over across the rink to the boys' side, we're going to talk about a Spalding hockey player.
Wow.
At the end of a long season, the Spalding Crimson Tide finished 14-6-1 and snagged the number 2 seed in Division I. And a Crimson Tide netminder Ethan Fortin checked all the individual boxes needed to reign supreme as the Times Argus Player of the Year. The junior embraced his first full-time starting role at the varsity level, recording a 12-3-1 record and a 1.7 goals
Wow.
against.
That's awesome.
A save percentage of .945.
Wow.
His
Impressive.
his cool head, steady hands, and swift reaction time complemented an exceptional hockey IQ, fueling shutouts over powerhouse Essex, Middlebury, and Rutland.
But for real, shout out to hockey goalies.
Really?
Yeah,
Exactly.
seriously.
Like,
Oh my God.
I don't know how they even see the puck.
Me
I-
neither.
It's so fast. It's so
so
small.
fast, and how do you move and all that equipment?
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
like, it's
Like-
so freaking impressive.
Yeah.
Fortin always giving the Crimson Tide a chance to win. The Tide didn't lose from January 29th to March 4th and carried an 8-game winning streak into the playoffs. So a big shout out to
Nicely
Ethan
done.
Fortin being the Times-Argus Player of the Year. Now on to the girls' side of the hardwood. And I have to use Jamie Bingham's first sentence, I think, in his article. Indiana has its Hoosiers, and the Green Mountain State has the Hazen Wildcats.
Valid.
On a team loaded with standouts, sophomore Kelsey Revard was unquestionably the most dangerous weapon. Choosing Revard as the Times-Argus Player of the Year was fully endorsed by multiple coaches throughout the Green Mountain State. Revard is now the 4th Hazen basketball star in the past 3 years. That's 4 in 3 years to be named the Times-Argus Player of the Year. Her older brother Tyler collected the honor 2 years ago. Last year, it was a sweep. Xavier Hill and Caitlin Davison got the TA award for Players of the Year. Revard, a sophomore,
Yeah.
Jeez.
will
Sophomore.
enter next
Jeez.
season with 741
Yeah.
career
Oh my
points.
gosh. That's
And
wild.
is poised to become the 3rd member of the family to reach
Family.
1,000 points.
That's crazy.
If she can hit
Crazy.
1,000
fucking
points,
high bar.
Right?
right?
If I
She's
was
got
the
2
younger
years, mind
sibling,
you.
I'd be like,
Yeah,
are
she
you,
the youngest. I hope there's another one. Oh,
Right?
boy.
Like, are you serious?
I'd play a different sport. Right?
Right, exactly.
I'm going to go make my mark somewhere else.
Oh, good.
She will, if she gets her 1,000 point, we don't want to rush the kids, she will become the 7th player in program history to accomplish the feat. Now, as we're talking about 741 career points in 2 seasons, in those 2 seasons, she has also guided Hazen to a 41-3 record.
Oh my gosh.
That's right, I
41
said
and 3.
41
and
and
3. So a big congrats.
Shout out.
Big congrats to
Amazing.
Lainey Thayer, Ethan Fortin, and Kelsey Revard for being the Times-Argus Players of the Year for winter sports, rounding out Carter Berzesi getting it for the boys. My shout out this week is going to Caitlin Fielder, who we had on the show. I'm saying she's a sophomore. Her mom's going to kill me if I get this because everybody just keeps growing up way too fast.
Way too fast, yeah.
We had her in the studio 2 or 3 years ago as she was leading the U32 lacrosse program
Yes,
to their
okay.
state
Yep.
championship. She is now playing for the Norwich Cadets. And for the month of April, they have, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Their record on the season is 14-2. They are 10-1 in the GNAC conference. They were on a 12-game winning streak until they lost to Emmanuel College. But that's it. I mean, their next game is this Saturday at 1 p.m. at Norwich against Dean College, 1 p.m. at Norwich. But what Caitlin Fielder has done in the month of April, I knew I'd get there eventually, and that is through 7 games in the month of April. 25 goals,
Wow.
5 assists.
In 7 games?
In 7 games
That is
for
sick.
our
That
Caitlin
is wild.
Fielder.
That's
Well
wild.
done.
And the picture CB
Well
put
done.
up on the screen is the day they won the Division II state championship for U32 lacrosse. Yes, 5 goals, 3 goals and an assist, 3 goals, 3 goals, 2 assists, 4 goals, 2 goals and 2 assists, and another 5-goal
That's amazing.
game
That's wild.
for our Caitlin Fielder. Could
That's
not
wild.
be any prouder of
That's
the
awesome.
young lady. And I've got to get over there. I've got an AAU game I want to go to Saturday, and it's in Derby. In Norwich, well, we all know that's in Northfield.
Right.
So
Is that a Butterfinger? No, it's a Reese's. Just
Wait.
as good.
you want the Reese's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we need a quick TV 30
Well, now
break.
I'm like,
My brain
is there
was
a
like- my
Butterfingers?
brain was
No.
like-
What's your favorite candy bar? Reese's?
I love anything with peanuts and chocolate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anything with
Same.
peanuts
Peanut
and chocolate.
M&Ms.
Yep,
Yep.
same.
So before we move on to the hype train that is the NFL freaking draft, you guys want to talk about anything else? I would talk about my favorite MLB team, but I will jinx them because I don't.
We're not talking about it.
No.
We're not talking about
What
it.
the hell, though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, can I just say this,
Did you
though? Do you want Juan Soto? I'll trade him to you guys for Ben Rice at this point. No,
Yeah.
I won't. Not Ben Rice because Alonso is freaking stud. Stud. He's a freaking
But
stud.
Ben Rice.
Yeah,
Ben Rice is playing well.
very
Yep.
well.
Ben Rice is playing really well.
Did you guys see the story about what's his face throwing an almost no hitter? What's the pitcher's
What
name?
team?
Oh, yes.
Yankees pitcher. Fried.
Fried.
Max Fried.
Oh,
yeah, it came to me.
Max
It came to
Fried,
me.
I told you
Yeah,
guys.
they
Stud.
overturned the call.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he had a no hitter going into like the seventh or eighth inning.
Eighth inning.
Eighth inning. And then when he comes out for the eighth inning, they announced that they overturned. They changed an error to a base hit.
Yeah.
In like from like the fifth or sixth inning.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yep.
He's pitching phenomenal though right
He
now.
is
He's
a
their ace.
He's
stud.
phenomenal.
You know who's not pitching well? Our fucking closer.
Yeah.
Do you want Edwin Diaz?
I want Luke
can
Weaver.
Yeah.
Who's pitching the eighth?
I guess nobody wants the Mets.
Well,
Closer.
our brain stud that is Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
Like, figure it out, buddy.
Yeah, like listen, Weaver did amazing for us last year in the closing role, and I get it.
Clay Holmes isn't doing bad as a starter.
Oh, really?
I'm just gonna slide my Mets Clay Holmes
Really?
in there. Not doing great, but he's not doing bad.
I mean, he hasn't been a starter in how long? So I mean, he's doing probably better than the rest of the Yankees starters.
I love it when we go from the Yankees and then we're gonna go into the Giants. in the
Yeah,
draft.
it's
I
going to be even
love
better.
this.
It's going to be
man.
even better.
I love this.
Giants, the bar is low. The bar is
It is so low.
low.
But if any team could blow a third pick in the draft,
Yeah.
it would be the Giants.
Here's a good thing for you guys. You guys aren't gonna like this. I forgot it was in my phone. You know, the NIL and all the money being spent. So there's a $10 million club in men's college basketball that really is going to spend close to $10 million in NIL money. Arkansas, BYU, that kind of surprised me.
That's surprising.
Duke, Indiana,
Surprising.
Kentucky, Louisville, Michigan, North Carolina, well, they need to, St. John's, and Texas Tech. Now, don't you think it's funny that Rick Pitino always says, the woe is me, I don't know what
Yeah,
they're
right.
making, but his program's in the
Yeah.
10, they're calling it the 10 million club. And Duke's in there, Kentucky, Indiana, Arkansas, and Calipari's right at the top of the list. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, this story made me think of you, Wheels, because did you see where some of the men's NCAA players are going into the transfer portal even though they're out of eligibility?
Yes.
Because of the upcoming lawsuit. They're like, well, I'm still trying to see if there's any professional options, but they're going into the transfer portal. I was like, oh, Wheels is going to love this.
Yes.
Unfreaking believable.
6 year.
6, 8,
year.
10.
Don't forget, Tyler Shug, 7 years.
7 years.
Yep.
I know.
I thought Bo Nix he was 5 years.
I feel like he was like
5 years?
10.
I'm like, how
like-
was he 5 years?
I don't. He had to have been 7.
I mean, Shug's 7 and Nix was 5? I'm a little
I don't know.
confused on that.
I don't know.
one. I don't know either. Where are the Yankees in the standings, though? I haven't looked.
We're first
First.
by half.
Yeah.
I shouldn't
by
have made
half
you
a
guys
game.
even
Yeah.
say that.
Boston. Boston's right behind us.
Bregman is really playing well. I mean, I do visualize him in a Mets uniform instead of a Red Sox one. I would have rather, and that was the guy I wanted instead of Soto.
Yep.
I mean, I said
Yeah.
right from the get-go, Soto
I
needs
would
to
have
stay with
fucking
the
taken
Yankees.
Bregman too.
Yeah.
Right? And it is still early, but
It's very early,
there
yeah.
was some weird scores over the weekend. I think the Reds won like 22-2.
Yeah, there was
over
a very
Baltimore
yeah,
or
yeah.
somebody
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, De La Cruz had a phenomenal catch.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He's
Shout
the
out to
next
Shohei
one.
Ohtani for having a baby.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Got a little girl.
Pete
And how-
Alonso's having a little one, too.
And how about all these gender reveals through Major
was
League
Bryce
Baseball right
Harper's
now?
Bryce, yeah.
That was
Like Bryce
Petey's.
Harper going up there with his blue bat, and then there was like a Guardians
that's
player
kinda
that put
cool.
on
That's kind of cool.
put on a wristband. He had it in his pocket, and he put on a pink wristband for his teammate. And I was like,
Oh.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is really cool. I had some
At least
good
you're not
notes.
causing a huge forest fire.
Correct.
DJ says, I miss you all.
Hi, Deej.
DJ. Hi, Deej. Deej, I had some really good notes on who's trading. Oh, there it is right there. Again, I take more notes now than I've ever taken in my life. So last year we did the draft on draft night. So this year we're just going to do a 12-pick mock draft, and then we'll see how close we come. But as the draft comes closer, here are your top 5 teams. It's the same every year, and my sister can attest to this. I've been watching the draft for probably 50 years. Close there, too. This Dolphin helmet is from the 1970s. I'm going to say 78-ish. I don't know if you can see this, but it is very stained and tarnished.
This is white.
And this
Then
is not.
This is not.
And this
In
is
case
the
you
white
need to know
stripe.
how
Look at the white
old that is.
stripe. But it's got the old logo that I loved the
Yep.
most. And my mom got this for me. I was probably 8 years old.
That's adorable.
And
Right?
I kept it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring it. And then when I put it next to that, I was like, whew.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can tell just by the logo alone.
Yeah.
And look at how, I mean,
I love that logo.
now look at these.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
they're like
look
so,
at that,
yeah,
and look at that.
Look at that.
Like,
Like,
you can even look at these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. I mean, there was
it's
nothing.
nuts.
Kickers had one bar.
I was going to say the punter.
Yeah.
Would have that one bar. I'm like, what's the
Where
point?
if the football went backwards, it's going to hit him in the face. I mean, it's going to hit him in the face. The draft, and it's funny, I read all these articles, too many articles, I look at too many mock drafts, and it's my favorite time of year. I know people should say the holidays are, but I just love
holiday.
draft. This is probably the
You start
first,
doing mock drafts like
oh my God.
months.
And then after this is done, we talk
right.
fantasy football.
Then we'll do
It's all
fantasy mock
football.
drafts after
Yeah.
this.
But this is honestly, let's say in the last 40 to 45 years that I can remember, it was always about who are you going to get in the first round? Can you trade up? Because you got to get this prospect, and you can't fall out of, you got to get into the top 15. Honest to God, and I said this 2 weeks ago, the draft starts at number 4. And it goes all the way through 7 rounds because everybody is on an even field this year.
Yep.
You're going to get starters in round 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
On NFL Network, they said the draft starts Friday. And I believe that.
Yeah, I agree.
Round
Second
2
round
and
is
3
huge.
are going
Yeah.
to be
Yep.
insane.
Yes. Yes.
Going to be insane. Some of the best things I've heard this week, because it's up and down.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Shedeur Sanders. Now on the eve of the draft, nobody likes him.
Yeah,
Right.
he's falling.
Falling.
He could
Nobody likes
he
him.
could be
That's all they
second
talked
rounder.
about today.
He could be second rounder.
I mean, what did he do wrong in the
Right.
last 2 weeks?
Right. I don't get it.
I don't get
But
it.
yet the Giants had him in for the third pick. Yeah.
Get out of here.
I will never understand how
I don't get
it
it.
goes like this.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yep.
So 3 things I heard today, and it'll change tomorrow, is from Fox Sports. Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports says Jackson Dart will not fall out of the first round. Will not. Not Shedeur Sanders. Jackson Dart, which I still think Shedeur Sanders goes in round 1.
I think he does too, but
Yeah.
Do we really think So the over-under on quarterbacks going in the first round, which last year, let's remember,
Right.
6 in the top 12.
Yep.
And that's the position that gets scrutinized the most.
What can I bet on?
It's
What
2
can
and
I
a
bet on,
half.
Lori?
It's 2 and a half. The bet. I'm like, half a quarterback?
yeah.
All right. We said last week, is it 2 or is it 3?
Right.
Yep.
If it's Dart, it's 3. I don't think it. I don't know. Do I want to doubt Fox Sports, who has better insight than I do? Or
I
do
don't know.
they?
That's a tough one because I mean last year we were blown away when Bo Nix went 12. So
Right.
Oh, that's true.
I remember
Yep.
us
And it
looking at each
worked.
other like,
We were like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Bo
yeah,
Nix?
he did
We just
fucking great.
crickets. There was crickets when they announced that. We were
Joe
like,
Joe Etson's in the house.
hey, Joe. So everybody's enamored with Jackson Dart, who 2 months ago nobody was talking about.
Correct.
Except me,
Except
because
you.
I just like to say his
yeah,
name.
Yep.
You've been
Okay.
talking about him all year.
Absolutely.
Yes, I loved his grit. I love his toughness. He plays for Lane Kiffin, not a big fan, but an NFL genius, mind, and an offensive genius. I'll get that right. The Saints love him. The Giants, Jackson Dart.
Yep.
Giants, Coach Dable, very enamored with him. The Saints love him, but they don't love him at 8 or 9. 8 or 9.
9.
I think 9.
9.
They don't love him at 9. The Giants don't even love Shedeur Sanders anymore, which I don't know if they ever really did.
Yeah.
At 3.
Yeah.
At
Right.
3.
Yeah.
The Rams are spending a ton of time with Jackson Dart. The Steelers have a first-round grade on Jackson Dart.
Yep.
Meanwhile, every article has Shedeur Sanders falling out of the first round.
I know. It's wild.
Now, and let's not forget, Jalen Milroe is going to the green room. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he may not even go. I mean, is he going in round one? I doubt it.
I don't think
I
so.
very much doubt it.
And I think he knows that.
Yep.
But he wants to go
But
through
he wants
the process.
to go right because he went with a teammate last year and he loved the whole
Yes, he did.
atmosphere and the
He
process
was
of it.
with Terry and
If
Right.
you go,
Yeah.
if you go
Yeah.
into it knowing that, like, hey, this is
Right.
just for the fun times,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's one of the best things I heard today. I'm hearing so much about Jackson Dart, and I'm hearing nothing about Shedeur Sanders other than he's falling off a cliff. Browns GM Andrew Berry said Travis Hunter's skill set is best suited for the wide receiver position.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He can play both. He also
Makes
said
sense.
that because let's not forget, Travis Hunter said, whoever's taking me, I'm playing both.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns are a wide receiver needy team.
Yes.
So he will probably play more on the offensive side
yeah,
than the
yeah.
defensive side. A month ago, it was Abdul Carter to the Browns. Now it's Travis Hunter to the Browns. An assistant GM said this about Georgia football. All those dudes know football. Kirby Smart coaches them to understand the game of football and not just their own position. They understand the game. So Jalen Walker, Michael Williams, and Malachi Starks, welcome to the first round because Georgia players are always taken in the first round. Those three players were very impressive throughout the whole process. Nobody has said one bad thing about any of these Georgia players. I think it's going to push Jalen Walker into the top 10 easily. I think if you see a trade, it will be to trade up to get Walker, who is a defensive end from Georgia. I don't just like saying his name, but I do. But we always have, they call him, on TV they call it an orange crush, the player you crush over
Yeah.
the most. Jackson Dart's obviously one of them. Emeka Egbuka is the receiver from Ohio State that I love.
Yeah,
I
he's-
just
yeah.
love this kid. So as a pro's pro, this comes from a longtime evaluator. You can't get much better than this kid. Unbelievable character on and off the field. This draft is really strong at the wide receiver
Very.
position.
Yep.
I know Tet McMillan is the 6'4" receiver that everyone is talking about.
Yep.
But Egbuka this is what I love it when they use this, universally beloved by NFL scouts throughout the entire NFL.
awesome.
General managers and coaches. He would be my first receiver taken. I have him going to the Texans, but they're not till pick like 25.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to see receivers go.
Yep.
This is a very deep receiver class.
Yes.
Offensive
Yep.
line, D-line,
Yep.
defensive end, not a strong quarterback class.
No.
Running backs, which nobody likes the running backs in round one.
Nope.
But Ashton Genty,
Yeah.
somebody's going to take
Somebody.
him.
He will go round
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Somebody's got to take this guy. I think the Jags and I think the Cowboys, possibly the Panthers, are where you
Makes
do
sense.
see receivers starting to go.
Yep.
Ashton Genty, I heard yesterday, could go as high as 3 because the Browns and the Giants have been fielding calls. This
Yeah.
always
That's all they
happens.
said.
Yeah,
They've been.
yeah.
That's all they talked about. today.
48 hours
Yep.
before
Yep.
the draft, everyone's
Yep.
calling 2 and 3 because
Yep.
one is off the board.
Right.
Yep.
I don't see Cleveland trading out because of Travis Hunter.
I
Oh
agree.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
The Giants
there's no way.
could.
Giants could.
Abdul Carter, you
Giants
don't
could.
want to pass on Carter. They passed on Micah Parsons
Correct.
years ago. So you don't really want to pass on a DE
Correct.
from Penn State again.
Right.
Yeah.
You can never have enough defensive ends. But if the Giants trade out, they're going to get a plethora of draft picks too.
Right.
when
And
your
we need a
team-
lot.
And we need a lot.
Yeah. We are not one player away.
No.
So would you guys anguish would you go, ugh, if they trade out?
no.
No, if they get good draft picks.
As long as they get good
Depends
draft
on the
picks.
draft
They need,
capital
they
that
need to get
they
good
do
draft
get.
picks.
It would.
because
I would
That's
be
worth
more.
a lot. That's worth a lot.
For me, say Cleveland takes Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter is there,
Then you keep it.
then we keep it.
Then we
Right.
keep it.
Right.
Like then, if they
100%.
trade it, I'll be pissed.
Yes, me too.
100%.
So I think it all depends who's there.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Trade. If,
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Travis Hunter's there, how can you not
Yeah.
take him?
Yep.
I'm hearing that Genty is going to go to Jacksonville. Whereas I had Raiders
I had
Raiders at
Raiders.
6. Raiders,
Yeah.
Raiders. And they're saying Liam Cohen wants, and there's 2 running backs
I was
there.
going to say,
Yeah.
the Jags
Not
have
strong
2.
Yeah.
ones. I mean, actually, Tank Bigsby's not given a chance.
No.
He's not given a chance. Travis Etienne
Needs to
something
stay
happened-
healthy.
Yeah. Something happened to him last
Yeah.
year. But I don't see Genty going in the top 5.
I mean, that's
it would be
that-
Jacksonville.
it would be.
It would, but
That'd be tough. The Raiders need him
yeah.
The Raiders do need him.
desperately. The Cowboys desperately need a running back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
there are
because
running
after the
backs.
Raiders, like, there's teams that don't really.
Omari and Hampton is the other running back that will go in the first round. I don't know why, but I haven't pegged so much in a Denver Broncos uniform. But you have got 8 prospects, almost down to 10, that can go day 2, day 3, and literally help your team out.
yeah.
I mean, it's a running back class. You got Judkins, you got Henderson. I like Caleb Johnson, the kid from Iowa. He's a good power back. And you can go all the way down to Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State and Cam Scatterbo.
I was
who
going
we
to say,
love.
where's Scatterbo?
Scatterbo.
And
We
we
love
love
Scatterbo. We love Scatterbo. Doesn't he look like he should be a Green Bay or a Pittsburgh Steelers
Yes,
running
he
back?
also
that would
looks
be
like he should be
solid.
he could bring the fullback position back. I feel like.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
He could be he could play both sides. He
Yeah.
could be a safety or a linebacker.
Yeah.
He's probably
Yeah.
not quick enough to be a safety. But there's so many running backs that I don't know. I don't know. I just don't understand why Shedeur Sanders is all of a sudden
I don't either. I don't get it.
Is it meeting with teams?
I don't. It could be.
I mean,
could be.
I'm sure his ego is as
I was
big
gonna
as this
say-
frickin'
I was
room,
gonna say,
so-
I could see him being that spoiled,
Yeah.
that spoiled kid.
Yeah.
But also, is this on purpose because they don't want him going
Right.
Right.
to the Browns?
Right.
I read an article last night that said the Steelers in no way, shape, or form are taking Shedeur Sanders because he had a bad visit with them. So I was like, oh, I didn't read that anywhere.
Nope.
Then today, another article was after Shedeur Sanders' good visit with the Steelers.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he have a good visit or a bad?
Right.
Somebody's saying bad in hopes that he does fall.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so
It's all
much
mind games.
BS.
No.
It's all mind games.
God.
And then it's Will Johnson is like one of the top cornerbacks from Michigan.
Yep.
He had a toe injury, played like 8 games. Now he has a knee injury. I'm like, well, where was that 2
Right,
months
Right.
ago?
Right. Right.
I'm like, does he have a knee injury? Or what?
It's just, it's so fun. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just all the outside noise you hear.
outside
all-
noise.
And it's just that. It's
Oh, yeah.
noise. Like,
Outside freaking
it's
noise.
crazy. It's
And then I think the kid I like from Alabama is Jahad Campbell. Well, he had shoulder surgery. CB, shoulders.
Stupid.
Shoulders are just stupid. And he might have to start on the PUP list. I really don't think that's going to hurt, but nobody was talking about it until now.
yeah. He was on SportsCenter today.
Good kid too.
Yeah,
he's,
great
he's
kid.
a rugged dude.
Yep.
He is a rugged dude.
Yep.
So it's so much going on. A lot of running backs. I mean, not a lot of quarterbacks. The Giants just, and I know I've said this to you guys before, all they wanted was Cam Ward. Does that surprise you?
Yes.
Oh, they were locked into making that trade flipping and going 3-1.
Well, I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Dable did put Shedeur through a workout, and you know when they go to their pro day, everything's scripted.
Yeah.
For the player, for
right.
the
To
Make
prospect.
him look the best.
Right.
When Dable had him in to Giants in to visit recently, it was very
It was
recently.
super. Like what? Last
he
week,
put
maybe
him
before?
through tests. Like, here's the offense we run. What if you see this? What if the DBs are doing this? So he really ran him through something different than a pro day where everything is scripted.
Yep.
I thought that was fabulous.
That is, yes.
So then all of a sudden, the Giants don't want him. So did he fail in the classroom
Right.
at the Giants facility? Who knows? But all of it is BS most of the time
Yeah. Yep.
anyway.
They're all playing off against each other. Like, they want this team to think they're going this way, and
Yep.
then this.
Yep.
It's all a game.
Yep.
It's such a game.
I will say this about the quarterback position. As much as this is one of the weaker quarterback classes, there's still some good prospects.
Yes, 100%.
So you get them 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
and you have them sit for a year
Exactly.
or two.
Yeah.
Because there's some really good ones. A scout said that, an offensive coordinator said the best quarterback to develop is Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. Above the shoulders.
Yeah.
Scrambling quarterback. Tyler Shugg, obviously the 7-year college player, is predicted to go in the first round as well. I don't believe any of that.
No.
And here's the thing. If the Giants and the Cleveland Browns are going to pass on a quarterback, well, they don't have to panic.
No.
'cause they have picks 1 and 2
Correct.
of round
That's 2.
2.
Correct.
Yep.
Do you see either one of those teams, and it's probably going to be hard for you guys to answer this, trading it back into the end of round 1 to assure themselves of getting their guy? Or do you have to wait to see how it plays out?
I think you have to wait to see how it plays
yeah.
out. But I think absolutely if the Giants stay, they have to take a quarterback in the
In
first
round-
pick in the
yeah,
second
round two.
round.
Yep.
They,
Round 2,
they have
pick
to.
2.
You have to.
Yep.
You can't wait
You have
and
Russell-
hope that they're going to be there for your next one.
Yeah.
So,
Wilson for a year.
Yep.
Right.
Have them develop into
Absolutely.
Wilson.
yep.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite that you're hoping falls to them? Knowing that Cleveland might be
Also
picking
needs
a
it,
quarterback
too.
as well.
Right.
Cleveland's 1.
Cleveland's
Cleveland would
1,
be
Giants
one.
are 2.
Giants are 2.
I mean, I can't believe I'm going to say this. And it's going to
Can't wait.
Whenever
I
Will
just
says
say
that,
it,
I
say
get
it.
all
taste
Say it.
real bad coming out of my mouth.
Say it.
But I kind of like Jalen Milroe. I'm not going to lie.
I kind of like Jalen Milroe too.
Like, I'm not
do.
going to lie.
Yeah.
I do.
Like, I feel like it's time for the Giants to have a quarterback that is just a running quarterback. Like, it's
Yeah.
time. It's just time.
Well,
How
Daniel
long has
Jones
it
knew
been?
how to run.
Really?
That's about it, though.
Really? He knew how to
He's
run until he
scrambling.
gets tripped up by himself all alone
Literally in the open back.
in the open backfield.
in the open
I hear
backfield.
you.
No
I
one
hear
close.
you.
But yeah.
How long has it been? Have we ever had one?
No. Never.
We've never had one, right?
Never.
Right. Right.
Like,
and
it
that
is-
is the
And
new
that's,
NFL.
it's the new game.
Yeah,
It is the
It
new
is
NFL.
time, and I
Yeah.
know he's from Alabama, and it's painful for me.
It's all right.
But
You can put the red, white, and blue on.
That's
And you'll forget all about that crimson
yeah.
color.
So that's who I'm leaning towards.
Yeah.
And he's got a hell of an IQ. We were talking
Yeah.
about 1 week about how he got the Heisman of the grade point
Oh, right,
average.
right,
and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He just
Yo, I'll take
GPA off the charts. So he's got this.
Yeah.
I'll take
And he's
him.
got the feet. He just needs to read his progressions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just needs to learn the game.
Right.
And it's
Right.
a different.
And again,
it's a different animal
it's
at
a-
the NFL.
It is a huge, huge step from
Yeah.
college
Yes.
to the NFL.
Yes.
And there's no G League in here, right?
No.
There's no minor leagues in there. So
Right. Exactly.
Especially with we've always
Exactly.
talked about like quarterbacks, they need at least 3 years.
Yep.
100%.
I mean, they gave a good old Danny Dimes like 3 years too long, but
Yeah.
that is besides the point.
oh my God.
I'd love to know what, like you were saying, the Giants gave Shador, like, you know,
They put him in the classroom.
they put him in. I would
literally.
love
And
to know how
Dable-
Daniel Jones did in the classroom.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. They probably didn't do that to him. I don't know.
Right?
No,
Like,
because he's a white boy.
yeah, exactly.
And he's friends with he's yeah.
And here's the thing: Dable's got a lot riding on this season.
Oh yeah, he's out if they yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's
I
out.
think Mike
He's out.
McDaniels does too with Miami, but that's
Yep.
just me. Maybe I'm a frustrated Dolphin fan. I don't know. I see the Giants trading back in if Jackson Dart around pick 24, 25 is
Goes.
still there.
Oh, yeah.
Because they will have to leapfrog over Cleveland.
Yeah.
So that's the one
if that's
If
what
way
they
he's-
want,
if he's
yeah.
still
that
there.
3 quarterbacks
He's still
go.
there.
Yeah.
If Tyler Shugg or Jalen Milroe go in round 1, I will be shocked.
I will be
Yeah.
very shocked.
The Pittsburgh
Yeah.
Steelers don't have a second round pick.
Oh shit. So they
They
might
need
be-
a quarterback.
They need
But
one.
number 1 on their board is defensive lineman, defensive tackle. That's number 1, plugging the middle of their D line. So when you talk about teams trading back, I look
They
at the
need
Steelers.
To. They need to.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
need to.
I look at the Steelers and I say, you know what? You guys have the 21st pick. If Jackson Dart is still there or Shador Sanders,
Yep.
you can trade back. Maybe you don't get a second. Maybe you get an early third, or maybe you do get a second.
Yep.
And then you can still get your quarterback. Because there's 3 teams that I can't see leaving the draft without a quarterback. And that's the Browns, the Giants, and the Steelers.
Yep.
Yep.
And the Steelers keep saying, I hate saying his name, Aaron Rodgers doesn't affect what they do in the draft. Well, you got to take a quarterback.
Right.
They need to.
You got to take a
Like,
quarterback.
who is their quarterback right now?
Mason Rudolph, who was their backup.
Again, who is their quarterback right now?
Yep, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
Teams moving up. Denver wants to shake up out of that 20 spot. I think it's for a running
Yep.
back, meaning
Yep.
Hampton.
Yep.
I don't think, unless Ashton Genty slides.
Yeah.
I don't see him sliding.
No.
I really don't see him. The other popular position in round 1 is tight end.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, Loveland and Warren
Warren.
are the big guys.
Yep.
Don't be shocked if Mason Taylor slides in from LSU, Jason Taylor, who is a phenomenal player for the Dolphins, I keep hearing a lot of chatter about him, and I could see somebody like the Rams, who need a pass-catching tight end. Texans are sitting at 25. They need to rebuild that offensive line.
gosh, yes.
I could see them trying to move up.
Yep.
Not a Kelvin Banks, because he goes in the top 10, but like a Gray Zabel or a Simmons, Josh Simmons. If they start to slide, they're going to try to move up.
Yep.
The Rams, I think, is more for a cornerback. And the Eagles, just because the Eagles trade up all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
And because there's so much even
They're
playing field,
so freaking
the Eagles are still going to get a stud,
Yeah.
even if they sit at 32.
It pisses me off how good they are at the draft.
They are very
They are
good.
one of the best.
It pisses me off.
If not the best, they're
I'm
probably
like,
the best.
Are you serious?
Looking to trade down Falcons, Dolphins. Vikings only have 4 picks in this entire
wow.
draft.
That's wow.
And the Steelers, but if the Steelers do it, it has to be because they need more picks, possibly a second round late. But their guy still needs to be there.
Yep.
And I'm not sure who their guy is.
Right. I don't think they know, really.
Nope.
Honestly.
I think if Shador Sanders slides, I do see the Steelers taking him.
I think
yeah.
they should,
They
but
sh-
that's
absolutely.
me.
Me too.
I mean, I get defensive tackle plugging that D line. I 100% get it. But you can get one later in the
Yes.
draft because
Yes.
that's a strength position is that defensive
Yep.
tackle position. I think with Pittsburgh, if Sanders slides, that's their person.
Yep.
And
I like that fit.
I think somebody that's going to keep him in check
Yep.
is Coach Tom.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
I love that. I actually like that
Yeah.
fit a lot.
Draft day trades. So you're saying you hope it's Milroe, Jalen Milroe, possibly Jackson Dart.
Possibly Jackson Dart.
Possibly
yes.
Jackson
I
Dart.
would not be surprised if they
If they-
took Jackson
if they
Dart.
trade up.
Yeah.
I like the draft trades over the weekend. They usually don't happen until day 3.
Yeah.
Sometimes day 2. Jalen Ramsey, obviously out of there, cornerback of the Dolphins. Don't know why, but Miami has already said he's out. Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals defensive
know,
end.
that-
Yep.
You got to give up a lot. You got to give up at least a second
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a fifth, maybe second and a fourth. Dude's a stud.
I can't believe Cincinnati's going to let him go. Like, do you
Right?
think they're going to, though?
I don't think
they
are.
can afford
I
him,
don't
but I
they
think
can.
you gotta.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say
he's
this-
literally your only defensive player.
Right.
Right.
Literally.
And
Right.
you loving the Bengals.
Love
we
them.
all love the Bengals.
Love them.
They should spend every pick on the defensive side.
Absolutely.
Maybe
They
if
need
you-
no offensive power.
No, they don't.
Maybe some tackle or guards depth
Yeah.
later, because
Yeah,
that's
but
deep
you-
position.
yeah.
You need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the
100%.
biggest storyline, and I still don't think it's going to happen this weekend, is Kirk Cousins.
Where the fuck? Like,
Where the hell is
what
Kirk
is
Cousins?
going on?
Where is Kirk Cousins?
Where
it's
in
like
the
No
world?
one's
where's
heard
Waldo,
from him.
but where's Kurt?
He's
Or
at a
where in the
Target
world is
somewhere,
Carmen Sandiego?
shopping for his
Kohl's
next
too.
outfit.
Yeah.
Kohl's.
I think it's going to depend on what happens to the Browns and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Giants got Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
They're fine no matter what.
Yeah.
I think we have to wait to see what happens to the Browns and the Steelers. And if I'm a Steeler fan, I sure the hell hope Kirk Cousins comes to
Yeah.
town instead of Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers.
Yes. Oh,
absolutely.
God, yes.
Absolutely.
And again, you've got some guys you can develop. You really do. Will Howard is the quarterback from Ohio State. Kyle McCord's the one that left Ohio State and went
Syracuse.
to Syracuse. I love both of those
Yeah.
guys. And what I'm hearing about Howard is he's a leadership guy and he has the it factor. I saw an interview with him and he's as cocky as all get out. But as I went, I stop and I look at the big picture and go, we kind of have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, you just won a national championship.
Right.
Yep.
So he can be as cocky as he wants to be. So time to look at our top 12. I got marker in hand. Do we have to talk about the first pick in the draft?
No, I don't think we have to talk about the first 3.
I know.
So we're going to do a little Cam Ward here.
Yep.
Cam Ward, quarterback
And
from
so what's going to
Miami.
happen to Will Levis at that point?
That's the other. Thank you. There's your other. What happened?
What happened to him?
I think they keep him as a backup.
I think so, too.
So
Because you got to have a good backup.
I mean, he's a solid backup. He knows the system.
Obviously, one of their needs is quarterback, edge, wide receiver, tight end. Browns, I didn't put cornerback down here, but it's not going to hurt them to have a little cornerback depth. So they're going to take care of that with Travis Hunter.
I feel so
who
bad
is
for him
just-
going there.
I know, me
know.
too.
Like, he's such a great guy. Like, and they're just like, really?
They're such a scummy team.
I know.
They're just such a scummy team.
Like, from top to bottom.
Right.
Like,
Scummy team.
They're a scummy team.
It's because Deshaun Watson's
Yes.
in tow, right?
But it's
Or
because
their owners know better.
exactly
Right, exactly.
The owner's the one who's like, oh, even knowing all this shit, I'm going to sign him to this huge ass contract. And good for them, for getting screwed over by that contract.
I don't think that.
Nope.
I don't know. Do you
We're
think the
going
Giants are going to
Abdul.
trade? I don't think so, but
Okay, we're gonna go
I won't
Abdul
be-
Carter.
I mean, like I said, I'll be happy. I'm fine if they do.
Yeah.
If he's not available, if he's available, we
Yeah.
must take him.
You're right. I just don't think there's any way that Travis doesn't go to the Browns.
I don't either.
Listen, it's not a need, but you know what? When the New York Football Giants won the Super Bowl, their strength
Was defense.
Was
their
defense.
defensive
Yes.
line.
Yeah.
Was their defense.
So you put him in there with Brian Burns and Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. You
Oh,
can't have
fucking
enough.
I just don't think
defense.
we can pass up.
You can't pass up
We
a Penn State.
right.
Penn
Look what we
State.
did
Penn
with
State.
Micah.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
So that brings us to the Patriots, who are praying that Shador Sanders goes here because they would
gonna
love this
happen.
guy to slide.
it's never gonna happen.
They
No,
would
but I don't even
love-
think. Like experts were saying, they wouldn't even take him if he was available because they're so focused on their O line.
on their
Oh,
O-line.
yeah. Yeah.
So we
Because Vrabel's got that defense figured out.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
and then he got it through free agency.
Yeah.
He brought in so much
They're
on
gonna-
the
yeah,
defensive
they're gonna
side of
be-
the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard Ashton Genty one time. Not heard, saw it on a mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
Then I heard Tate McMillan, but I can't see a receiver going here.
No.
No, that's too early.
No.
So if we're looking at offensive line, we're looking at Will Campbell,
Campbell.
from LSU.
Campbell,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna circle that, and we're gonna go Will Campbell.
I mean, you gotta. You have
Yeah.
your franchise quarterback.
Yep.
Last year,
You need. Yep.
so this year you got to get
You have
the
to.
guys to
You have
protect
to
him.
get the
Yeah.
O-line. Yep.
It makes sense.
So we're
to
going to
me.
go,
Yep.
and Campbell's a stud. And here's the cool thing. He can play anywhere along that line other than center, but you can put him at the guard position inside. You can put him outside at the tackle spot as well. Here's where I think things get interesting.
They go for it.
The Jags, right
Yeah.
here, these guys.
Yeah.
Mason Graham has been everyone's. He's the top defensive tackle. Ashton Genty is the hot one.
Does he go?
You need another, you need a wide receiver opposite Brian Thomas. You need a tight end. Tyler Warren
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
right there. Are they going to shock the world and go tight end this early? I would love to see Tyler Warren
That
in
would
the Jags.
be.
That would shock.
That would
I would be
amazing.
shocked.
That would be
Or
amazing.
you're taking Mason Graham and you're plugging him in the middle of your defensive, because they have phenomenal pass
Yeah.
rushers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really good defense in Jacksonville.
Yep.
We all know Trevor Lawrence needs to stay healthy. They got a plethora of running backs.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
Evan
I don't know why they
Ingram.
have.
Yeah.
They just let him go.
Right.
So it's a need. Tight end is a need.
Tight end
It
is a
is.
need.
It is.
I mean,
I'm going to
high.
call
That's
the.
high though.
I know it's high, but the other thing is the Jets are going 7, and I keep hearing Warren there. So if you want to get him,
Yeah, you have to go now.
so do we think they're plugging the rest of their defense up, which means that defensive tackle because they got
Boy,
great
that's
pass
hard.
rushers. There's
I
not
don't
a
think they're going to take
linebacker yet.
Ashton Genty. I think it makes no sense.
No, that's no.
You
there's
have
no
2
way.
running backs already.
I
There's
think
no
they're
way.
throwing that out there because it could be a
Trade.
trade.
Yeah.
Whoops,
Yeah.
there goes my pick is in. It could be a trade. I think this is the sweet spot for a trade to happen.
Yeah.
If not, what do you guys think?
Who's
are we
traded up
putting
there?
Graham or are we putting Warren? If not a trade.
They do need a tight end.
I so want to put
know.
Tyler Warren there.
I like
And
that
then
so
everybody
much.
would be going, oh my God.
I
Yeah.
like that so much.
I'm going to
though.
do it.
All
Let's
right,
do
let's
it.
do it.
Let's
much.
do it.
Let's just do it because it's our mock draft.
Right. And it's need based.
It's huge need. And let me tell you this. These guys want to say it. Trevor Lawrence needs all the help he can get.
Yeah.
And I
But he's
love this
working on
for
his
him.
footwork, Lori.
He is. He's working on his footwork.
Working on his footwork.
Don't you guys worry.
Right
He's
now.
working on his footwork.
As we speak during this podcast.
And Raylene, thank you for the easel. And we promise to put the couch back after. We promise.
Okay.
All right. So now we're at the Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders, and we still have Graham on the board. And one of their biggest needs is offensive tackle. They need another playmaker on the outside. There's good defensive ends where Jalen Walker would be the pick right now, I think. But are we going with a running back?
I know. They need a running back.
They do.
We're going with, and you
I
know,
have to. I think they're going to be so happy that he's there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they think he's going to still be there, but
I think that Jacksonville is just trying to get a trade,
Yeah.
or flip flop with the Raiders and
Yeah.
get an extra draft pick. Dan Orlovsky would have a fit if he was watching our mock draft, because he continues to say that you can't put a running back like that behind a offensive line with so many holes.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's
You
a
can-
lot of offensive linemen
Yeah.
in this draft,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
not going to worry about it quite yet. And there's this guy named Pete Carroll who thrives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
would draft running backs in Seattle. And I should look back. He would draft a running back, and then the next year he'd draft another running back in round 1. And I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah.
The guy loves running backs. So right here, the Jets, I had. That's where Ty Warren has been literally.
I mean, they definitely
The
need a
whole
tight
time.
end.
The
for
whole
sure.
time, yeah.
But not at this point. No.
So do we go with offensive line? We have
Yeah.
offensive line, we have cornerback, and we have wide receiver. Is it too high to go for a wide receiver?
I feel like it's
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
early.
For a
Yeah.
wide receiver.
Yes.
So we could go cornerback. It's a little high for the cornerbacks too. I got the positions right here. Will Johnson, I think it's too high for him. Jahdae Barron is the other one from Texas. I still think it's too high for him. So with the Jets, I continue to think that they have to go here.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you've got Mason Graham, right? Do we got Mason Graham because we put Ty Warren?
Yeah, Mason
Yeah.
Graham is still available.
Do you go
on the line.
defensive line or do you go offensive line? And all I keep hearing about on the offensive line is Membu
Yep.
from
I
Missouri.
Yep.
So do we go O-line or do we go Graham, who is now slid?
Right.
And they got a good defense.
They do have a good
They
defense,
do.
and Aaron Glenn's a defensive guy. So
What do you guys think?
I say because he's available, and they probably didn't
Want-
think he would be.
Yeah.
They got to take him.
Yeah.
So we'll
He's
go
the
Mason
best
Graham.
available at that
Yeah.
point.
Okay. How do I spell his name? Graham, and he is the D tackle.
Yes.
So they're at least filling a need.
Yep.
We probably put Warren too high, but if you watch a Penn State game, Tyler
he's so
Warren,
good.
He's so good.
So good.
And do you know you can line him up just about
Yeah.
anywhere?
Yeah.
Yep.
The guy is so freaking good. Here's another one where I think.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are
gonna
going to
trade.
trade.
Do we think
Yeah.
there's a trade here?
Yes.
Yes.
And if it's a trade, who's trading up to get what? Because Tyler Warren's gone now. Gentie's gone now. So that's where I worry, and that's where I think Jalen Walker comes into play. They have him down as a linebacker. You can line Jalen Walker up just about anywhere. But I think we're going to put a trade here, if you guys agree.
Yep.
And I really think it's for Jalen Walker, the kid out of Georgia.
I think so too.
I don't know who's going to do it. I really, truly don't. But we're
Maybe
gonna
the
put-
49ers.
That's a good one.
You know,
Oh,
they
yeah,
need
from,
it.
from 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they need help.
They need a lot,
Lot
of
of help.
Everyone left. Their whole team left.
Literally.
Their whole team left.
I will say this: there's a lot of pressure on that team.
Yeah.
To get it right, and
Yep.
they usually do. You were talking about how good the Eagles are on draft night.
Yeah.
Really, GM Lynch, they usually don't
Yeah.
get that wrong much. Now here are the Saints that if I watch one more mock draft that puts Shador Sanders,
Yeah.
I scream at the TV now, because all I'm hearing is they will take one at the 40th pick, but not at the 9th pick. Or is that a smokescreen?
But
Because no one knows what Derek Carr's doing.
They need a
It makes
quarterback,
sense.
though.
Yeah.
They desperately
Yeah.
need a quarterback. You have to take Sanders. You have to.
You sure you want me to put Sanders here?
I mean, I think so.
CB?
I think it's a smoke. I think they're.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to throw people off, but that's just me. I could be wrong.
No.
I mean, before this last week, everyone was talking about Shador to the Saints.
All right.
I mean, Dion wants him to go there.
Yep.
Okay.
I think they look good in that.
Wheels, I think you could be right that it could be a
Just a
smoke
smoke
screen.
screen.
If not, it's going to be one of the defensive side of the
Yes.
ball. I just don't know
Yes.
which one. I mean, Mikael Williams from Georgia comes to mind. But if it's not Sanders, it's definitely the defensive side of the ball with Cam Jordan and crew. getting up there in age, a little long in the tooth. A projected trade I saw today, and I loved it, from Peter Schrager, was the Colts moving up to the Bears spot because of Colston Loveland, the other tight end.
Yeah.
And how bad the Colts have made it
Yeah.
known. Because you
Yeah.
have smoke screens, the Colts are like, no, we need a tight end.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So this could be a good trade spot too.
Also, yes.
Yes.
And if it is, I do think very much it is for Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. But if the Bears stay there, the Bears are all over the place.
They need so many different things.
Yeah.
They have built their whole offensive line through free agency.
Yep.
I've seen Genty here a lot too.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if he
Yep.
slides and
Yeah.
somebody doesn't trade up, I just don't see how he makes it to the Bears.
I don't either.
No.
I really don't see how he
No.
makes it to the Bears. I just don't see them going offensive line. Here I see them or the Niners going with the first cornerback or a wide receiver.
Well, the Bears need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Right, because they got Adunez.
And that's it.
Adunze, excuse me, I got to say his
And
name
that's
right.
pretty
And
much
that's
it.
Yeah.
So would you put a receiver there? So if we're not putting it, we're either going to go Loveland in a trade. And which receiver?
I know.
Because everybody's saying it's McMillan, the
McMillan.
6'4", because of the 6'4" frame.
Yep.
I mean, I like the kid from Texas myself, Golden, but
You like Golden?
I do.
Matthew Golden's up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
I don't
really
know if
is
he's
up
here,
there.
but
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I do like him, his skill set a lot. But I think with Caleb Williams, you like,
Yeah, you need to give him something.
yeah. So I think they go wide receiver, but I just
So-
don't know which one.
McMillan?
All right, we'll write McMillan in. I don't know how to spell his name. Remember I had you do this last year?
You had me spell.
I'm like, Wheels, write down all these
The
names.
worst person to have. I was like,
And I wouldn't be surprised again if they go the defensive side of the. If Jalen Walker slides at all, he's
yeah.
going to the Bears.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely goes down
Yeah.
here. 100%.
also if Warren is available,
he goes there.
He goes there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
because they have Komet, but he's getting up there, and
Yeah, we'll put Warren down here as a fallback.
yeah.
For sure.
Because
For
literally
sure.
no one has put Tyler Warren to the Jacks
No.
in any mock
No.
draft.
No.
We're just going out on a limb.
Right.
We really are.
Yep.
Niners, God, I've seen
They need
cornerback.
everything.
Yeah, they
Everything.
need everything. I've heard cornerback. What do we have here? Edge, cornerback, safety. have
mean,
them
they need
going-
everything.
I think we're going to go with Jahad Barron, Jahdae Barron, excuse me, I'll say his name right. And only because this kid from Texas is so good, he can play both positions. You can move him all around. So if Barron's still there, I would love to have Barron fall to the Miami Dolphins, but I just don't see that happening. So we'll go with a cornerback there. It fills almost two needs. Wide receiver again, but it's a deep draft at that position as well. If they went they went Ricky Pearsall last
I
year.
know.
Yeah.
So you're not really going to do that in round one. Which takes us to Jerry's world.
Oh, geez.
We all want to live in Jerry's world, not. If DJ is still listening, I want to know who he wants the Cowboys
that's a good
to
question.
take. Because you can go offensive line.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, he doesn't draft bad.
Right.
And in their best days, he built an offensive line. Now they're either getting up there in age, long in the tooth, or they've retired.
Yeah.
So they could go offensive line, and I think that's where Membo, if he was still there.
Membo.
But I really think they need a skill position player.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they were to trade up for Genty, that would make Cowboy fans so freaking
Oh, yeah.
happy.
That's what they
They
need.
need a running back.
That's exactly.
they
They
need a
literally
running
should
back.
trade up to get him.
Yeah.
I mean, months
100%.
ago, wasn't it Genty
Yeah.
falling here?
Yeah.
And then it was, oh no, Genty's going here. Oh,
Yeah.
now he's going here. And now he's definitely not getting past the Bears.
No.
So the Cowboys would definitely have to trade up to
Yes.
get Genty.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
I think I like your guy there.
Golden.
Yeah.
I think I like Golden
Yeah.
there. Keep him in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, that's
Matthew
fun.
Golden.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. You keep him in the state of Texas.
I like that.
Yeah. Me too.
And you also are getting a dude that not only can he catch the ball, he runs good routes, but he can
Yeah.
sprint down
Yes.
the
Yeah.
field too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah.
can. I think we really went out on a limb
We
with
did.
the Tyler
We
Warren
did.
one.
We
did,
really
but it's
did.
fine.
And
It's
I loved how much it scrambled everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, because literally, Mason Graham, you're probably going to the Jags. You're
Yeah.
in every mock draft, and then that changes everything. But it could just flip it, because
Yeah.
the Jets have been all in on Tyler Warren.
Because
Yeah.
who is
as
the
well.
Jets tight end? Can you name the last Jets tight end?
No.
Conklin. Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
You can say who again?
Who?
I just
Conklin,
was
yeah.
like, who was it? I would see it on the fantasy waiver wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conklin.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
exactly.
That's all I got for
Yeah,
you.
that's it.
So yeah, it could change a lot. That's why it's a mock draft. If we get 50% of it right,
Hey,
we're doing.
I'd say we're doing pretty
well.
good.
I will say this: I have a CBT Sport dinner tomorrow night. I'm like, who puts that? Carl Parton. Why do you do that
yeah.
the night of the draft?
Addie has a game the night of the
Oh
draft.
my goodness!
I'm like,
that's right.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it starts at
geez.
5, so I'm like,
Where are you traveling to? Otter
Rutland,
Valley?
so not bad.
Rutland. Okay.
Only an hour
That's
from
true.
Barry.
That's true.
So not
Why
bad.
don't we say Rutland like it's in the next state?
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Feels like it.
It does feel like it.
Feels like it.
So the story. What's the biggest storyline for you guys tomorrow night?
Mine's the Giants. Like, what are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Like, are they going
Do
to
they
trade the
trade?
pick? Are they going to take it? Are they going
Yeah.
to take it? Are they going to trade up,
Back
back
up
up into the
to
first
get-
round to get
to
a
get a
quarterback?
quarterback.
To get a
So for
quarterback.
me, not only just because I'm a fan and I don't want us to F it up.
Yep. Yep.
But I'm interested in what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
For me.
Same. The bar again. We said it a million times. The
Yeah.
bar is so low. We'll be happy with
Anything.
Just don't fuck up the. If you keep the third, don't fuck it up.
Exactly.
And again, this is a draft that can go. I don't watch day 3. In all honesty, my love of the draft, I don't watch day 3. I watch day 2. I enjoy more than day 1.
Yeah, day 2 is going to be the biggest.
But I would hold my breath for the Dolphins. Oh my God, they need to get so and so. I don't really.
Yeah.
There's a plethora of players.
Yeah.
Plug a hole. This is the first time the Dolphins have had 10 picks, and they have a lot of holes.
Yes.
On
Oh,
both
yeah.
sides.
Because
of the
they've
ball.
had draft picks taken away from them the last few years, right?
Yeah, or they've
last
traded
year?
them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had draft picks taken away from
They
them.
had the Tom Brady fiasco.
fiasco. Yep.
I mean, and
Stupid.
is he
Stupid.
in the front office for Miami? No. Do I wish he was? I probably do at this point.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
But I like this. Everybody's all over the place.
Yeah.
My biggest storyline is I love how the tight end position
Yeah.
is valued now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So how high are Warren and Loveland going to go? And is Mason Taylor going to sneak into that first round? Is somebody like Sean McVay going to be like, this is our kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
Screw it. We're going to take him. Because that's what happens at the end of the first round.
Yeah.
It's like midnight and I'm going, I have all my papers out. And at least once, sometimes twice, I go, who? And I'm looking for my day 3 notes. And I'm like, oh, but I don't know what these guys
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
These scouts, they go to all the college games.
Yep.
So it's the tight end position being valued.
Yeah.
And of course, not being a strong draft for the quarterback.
What happens with
What
them?
does
What
happen with
happens
Shedeur
with them?
Sanders?
Does he slide?
And is Tyler Shug really going to go at the end
Right.
of round 1? I think
No.
that's a smokescreen.
Yep.
Is Jalen Milroe? More than anything, I think it's Jackson Dart. I don't think it's a smokescreen.
I can't wait to see where he ends up.
I
I know.
just think Cleveland and the Giants really love this kid.
Yeah.
So do they trade back in? I have watched so many shows. I've heard one quarterback's going. I heard somebody say that on NFL Network last night, and I'm like, that puts Sanders out of the first
Yeah.
round.
Yep.
I've heard 3, and obviously we talked about 2 going.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you enjoy the NFL, you're going to watch the draft. And how long? I love this question. Do you think the first round will last?
Oh, geez.
God.
I think it's going to be a long one.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a long
Well,
one.
the timer is it 10 minutes or 8 minutes?
I think it's 10.
And then it
It's
goes
so
really
long.
fast after that. It goes
Yeah.
to like 6 minutes, 4 minutes. So I used to do a mock draft. I don't know if it was on ESPN. You had to guess how long the 1st round. I say 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't go 4 hours
How many
anymore.
trades do you think there's going to be?
Well, that's a good one. I'm going to say at least 3 trades.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was,
easy.
3 was my
So
number.
we're going to
yeah.
go
Easy.
3 trades.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right. Any trades from any professional, like a Kirk Cousins on day 1, or do we wait till day 2 or 3?
Wait.
I don't
Yeah.
think Jalen
Wait.
Ramsey. I think everybody's going to. How do we do in round 1?
Yeah.
Should we make a
Yep.
trade?
I don't think that's
It's
going
going
to
to be a wait. Yeah, they're going to wait.
We will be back next Wednesday. We will obviously
Discuss all of this.
break it down. We'll give
Yep.
grades. We'll give our own grades. We're not going to listen to Mel Kiper. We're going to give our own grades Get out there and watch spring sports. We haven't even talked about spring sports
No.
other than Otter Valley
Yeah.
softball.
almost over.
And they're through 2 weeks now?
Yep, 2
So we
weeks.
got to start paying attention, get some scores locally and beyond the local realm. So we'll be back.
Yep.
And you know what we should talk about? You guys are going to laugh at me. The NBA playoffs.
I know.
Because if I have to give one shout out,
Yeah.
it's to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Who I don't know the last time they were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nope.
But they are 0-15.
Richard Hamilton was playing for them.
Yes.
The last time they were in the playoffs.
Indeed.
Yes.
I love it. 0-15 in the playoffs
Yep.
in the last so many years. So good job. I mean, the Knicks.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see you next Wednesday.